Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I am Michael, your host, and can't believe I'm even having to do this, but I just watched a video from Steven Crowder, which, if y'all don't know, I love Steven Crowder. Okay, I love the show Louder with Crowder, that changed my mind, and all that. So I love it. And in this particular one, he had some dude on there talking about the Second Amendment. Alright. Now, my question, for those of y'all watching, because I don't know what your opinions are, the Second Amendment, is it a right or a privilege? Now, I want you to think about this before you answer, okay? Because when I say right, it's inalienable, a human right granted to all U.S. citizens, whether you were born here or whether you were naturalized. It's your right, okay? Or is it a privilege, okay? Now, we have to discern the two because, you know, the term a right and a privilege, they differ, okay? Even though some of you may not believe that, there is a difference, okay? Now, one second. Now, we're going to look at this in as logical terms as possible and try to figure out the answer once and for all, okay? But what we're going to do is we're not going to use the terminology of the left and the Democrats, okay? We're going to use actual facts, okay? Okay, so we're going to cover, and I'm going to be nice, we're going to cover a privilege first, okay? So, is the Second Amendment and the right to keep and bear arms a privilege? I'm going to wait, and I want you to comment your answer down below in the comment section. Let me know if you think it's a right or a privilege, okay? And before we go any further, let me level this out a little bit, okay? Before we go any further, if this is your first time to the channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button and turn on the bell for all notifications, so you get notified when I do another video. Okay, so I've given you some time. I want you to think about it. I really want you to think about it, because this is very important, okay? Because in this day and age, the only two constitutional amendments that are coming under fire is the First Amendment and the Second Amendment, okay? So, the right to keep them, or the Second Amendment, okay, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Okay, is it a right or a privilege? Now, we're going to look at the privilege side of it, okay? Now, me personally, I don't consider it a privilege. I consider it a right. It's an inalienable right granted to me by the Constitution. All right, now, we're going to look at the term privilege. Okay, for those of you out there that don't know the difference, a privilege is something that's given to you that can be taken away, okay? For any of my younger crowd watching, you should know this, okay? Like a car. A car is a privilege, especially if you're a teenager, okay? Your driver's license, it's a privilege. It is not a right. There's nothing in the Constitution or anywhere saying that it's a right. You have to have your driver's license. It's a right. Or it's a privilege. Cell phones, laptops, nice things, those are all privileges, okay? I can remember growing up that when we did something good, like when we got our report cards and we had passed, really good grades, or we had passing grades, we got taken out for ice cream, Or the way my parents did it is we received monetary rewards. You know, it was like $5 for an A, $4 for a B, something like that. Okay, that is a privilege. Okay, at any time, my parents could say, you know what, we're not doing that anymore. Okay, it's not a right. It's not guaranteed. Okay, it is something that's given that can be taken away. Okay, something else that is a privilege that can be taken away is your freedom. You can break the law and go to jail. Okay, they've taken that freedom from you. Your job is a privilege. They can say, you know what, you don't work here anymore. Simple. So the difference is a privilege is something that can be taken away. All right. Now we're going to flip the script and go to a right. Okay. What is a right? It's something that is guaranteed. Okay. We have the right to life. Okay. And I'm not getting on the abortion topic today because that's going to be a whole other video. All right. We're talking about the right to live. I have the right to live. Okay. I have the right to live happily, to provide for my family. That's my right. Okay. My right to breathe air. Okay. I have a right to say what I want, to speak my mind, share my opinion. Okay, that's the First Amendment. I have the right to worship in whatever church I want, whatever religion I want. That is a right. Okay? I have the right to information, hence the internet. Okay? Nobody can just snatch the internet from you, you know, unless you don't pay your cell phone or internet bill. But yeah, that is a right to information. So those are the differences. Okay? A privilege can be taken away, whereas a right can't be taken away. Okay? Now, on to the Second Amendment. Okay? Do you think that guns are a right or a privilege? Okay? Now, if you say it's a privilege, I'm going to quote to you the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Okay? This is a very, very important amendment to the Constitution. And it's number 2 only because the right to free speech is number 1, okay? And you have to have number 2 to protect number 1, okay? We're not talking about the bathroom. We're talking about amendments, okay? Number 2 protects number 1. Okay. Now, in the 1770s, when this was being written up and drafted, the founding forefathers determined that the free American people needed the right to keep their guns to protect themselves, okay, from whatever. They needed to protect it from robbers, from murderers, and from a tyrannical government, okay? Now, a lot of you might be saying that, well, we just beat England, or we were in a war with England. That's true, but we had England to worry about. We had Spain. We probably had France, you know, Mexico. We had all these countries that could have potentially invaded us and taken over, okay? Because we were a small, brand new nation. We were only 13 colonies. All right, so anybody could have come in, you know, after we defeated England, and we're war-torn, we're ravaged, the country's, you know, brand new. They could have stepped in and said, aha, we're taking over. But they didn't, thankfully, okay? Sorry. All right. Now, you're thinking, since I said a tyrannical government, you're thinking a foreign government. No. Tyrannical government That even includes our own government. Okay, that includes our own government. Excuse me. Okay, our own government could become tyrannical, and the people would have the right to have their guns, and they would be able to defend themselves against said government. Okay, now for you veterans out there, which I am one, you even know that when we swore our enlistment oath, that we swore to protect the United States against all enemies, foreign and what? Come on. Get in. Hey, you in the back. Hey, you in the back. Yeah, not you. Yo, no, not you. You. Yeah, you. Against what? Foreign and domestic. Okay, a domestic enemy, which could be in turn, could be determined to be, somebody within the United States that's, threatening the government or the country, or it could be the government threatening the people. All right. So the Second Amendment is an extremely important amendment to the Constitution, and we need to keep it. I mean, I don't see anybody taking it away from us. It's been here for 200 years, over 200 years. I don't see it happening, okay? And if they try, I see a whole bunch of good old boys raising up an army to fight a what? Tyrannical government. Got you there. Now, on to the next point. Okay, one of the other major arguments about the Second Amendment is, okay, well, what guns should be protected? Okay, all guns. We're going to have one of the moments. And I know some of y'all just got ticked off because I did the whole thing, but it's okay. I mean, it's stupid to think that you're not going to protect all guns under the sun, okay? Because nowadays you got some of these yahoos like Beto O'Rourke that, just come out and say, yeah, we're taking your guns. We're taking your AR-15s. And that's the only one they want to concentrate on is the AR-15. Okay, and the AK-47, which, okay, whatever, But they only want to concentrate on those guns. Okay, they don't want to concentrate on any of the other guns that are really used in more mass shootings than the AR-15. Like handguns. Handguns are more maneuverable, okay, than that big old AR. I mean, yeah, the AR, it looks scary. Oh my God, it's scary. It's scaring me. Okay, it looks scary. But let me tell you something, okay? I have been shooting guns my entire life, okay? I can remember being 6, 7 years old, shooting my dad's AR-15, okay? And I was good, okay? I remember owning multiple guns, handguns, shotguns, rifles, even assault rifles, okay? And let me tell you something about the AR-15, okay? Now, this is going to blow your mind, all right? The round for the AR-15, it can take a .223, a .223, or a 5.56 millimeter round, okay? Both of those rounds are nothing but a glorified .22, okay? It's a glorified .22. That's it. It's got a little bit more powder in it, and the bullet itself is a little bit bigger. Okay? I mean, my AR is mainly used for hog hunting, because you have to have a lot of bullets to take down a charging hog that's 250 pounds. Okay? Let me tell you something, okay? I have other rifles that would completely decimate that daggum AR-15, okay? I mean, I've shot a 7 millimeter Mauser. It would decimate the AR-15, okay? A 300 Winchester Magnum would decimate the AR-15. A 30-06, a 30-30, any 30 caliber round is going to decimate a daggum AR-15, okay? And then let's get into the handgun calibers, all right? A 45 is more powerful than the AR-15's round. okay? A 357, a 44, a 45-70, a 50 caliber, a 500 Smith & Wesson. Those are more powerful than an AR-15. So why aren't you going after those? Why? Because the AR-15, oh my God, it looks scary. I gotta go. Okay? If some of you people out there that are completely against guns would actually go out to a gun range and get some instruction and actually shoot some of these weapons, you would see that they're not bad. Okay? And I'll tell you this, okay? My weapons at home, they are all loaded. They are all loaded. Okay? I could take any one of my guns, I could set it on my coffee table, I could lean it up against the wall in the corner, I could leave it on the couch. It's not going to kill anybody. Because a gun is a tool. Okay? And you always hear this thing, the way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Well, that's true. Okay? Because I'll tell you something. If I'm at the store and somebody comes in there to rob it and do harm to the employees working there or the people in the store, I'm going to pull my weapon and I'm going to engage the target. That's human nature. That protection is part of the human genome. We are ingrained to protect. Okay? Now, yes, the human race is warlike. Hey, that's going to happen. Okay? I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm not saying it's a perfect world. But what I am saying is that what you're bitching about makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Okay? I mean, I could do more damage with my 45 than I can with an AR-15. Okay? I could shoot you with an AR-15 round. There's still a pretty good chance you're going to live, depending on where you're hit. Okay? If I hit you with a 45, it's over. All right? Now, some of you, doubters are going to be, oh, no, that's incorrect. You don't know what you're talking about. You're stupid. You're stupid. You don't know. I do know. Okay? And I can back it up. Okay? Because in addition to being a gun lover, I am also a very capable reloader. So I reload my own ammunition. Okay? And I have load books that tell me how much powder to put in the bullets, and I could tell you everything about it. Okay? I have reloaded the 223 and the 5.56, and I've also reloaded the 300 Winchester Magnum and most 30 caliber rounds. And I will tell you right now that that AR-15 round ain't nothing. Okay? That's why it's one of the preferred weapons for hunters, because you can carry more ammo in the magazine. And I said magazine, not clip. Okay? You could carry more rounds in the magazine. And let me tell you something. If you're being charged by a 250-pound feral hog and you ain't got enough bullets, you're done. Because that hog gets you on the ground, he wins automatically. Okay? So, this is what I would like y'all to do. Actually go down to a gun range. Go down to a gun store, okay? Now let me tell you something. You might, I don't feel safe, all these guns. Let me tell you something, okay? Every single gun store that I've ever gone into, the employees are armed, okay? And somebody would have to be a complete moron to walk into a gun store to try to rob it. Okay, I've only seen one story about that, and the guy went in there by accident. He ended up getting plugged by like 9 people in the store. Okay? So they would be stupid to come in there and try to do something. Alright, so go into a gun store and ask questions. They will be more than happy to answer any question you have. Okay? They will let you hold the weapon. Okay? And it's completely safe. There's no ammo in it. The bolt will be open. The magazine will be out of it. And you know what? Just a little crazy idea that I'm having. Why don't you try shooting it? Why don't you try shooting a variety of guns, okay, and feel the difference. All right, because I'll tell you right now, I can hold an AR out with my, out like this and just pop off rounds, okay? But if you try to get into some other calibers, some bigger calibers, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. And once you see and feel the recoil from the different rounds, you're going to see that AR, it's a pussycat. Pussycat. Okay? The AR is nothing. All right, and then, like I said, ask them questions, okay? If you have the ability, go online and look up load charts for different guns, and you'll see the kinetic energy produced by each round, and you'll see that the AR ain't nothing, okay? So, is the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms a right or a privilege? Okay, I've already proven it's a right. It's a God-given, inalienable right to American citizens, whether they were born here or whether they're naturalized and they got their green card. Hey, if you got your green card and you want to go buy a gun, by all means. Okay, and I'm going to tell you, there are multiple things you have to do in order to buy a gun. You have to fill out paperwork and paperwork and paperwork. Then they have to call you in. They have to run your background. They have to check your criminal history. They have to check a bunch of stuff, okay? And let's say that 10 years ago or 5 years ago, you got charged with domestic abuse. Something happened, you and your old lady, whatever, got into it, you smacked her, she called the cops. Nothing happened to it, but you were charged with it. You can't buy a firearm. If you have a felony conviction, you can't buy a firearm. Okay? If you have any type of violent crime against you, you cannot buy a firearm. Okay? I can buy a firearm because I keep my nose clean. All right? So actually go in there and ask them, hey, what's the process to buy a gun? I'm just curious. How long does it take? What are you checking on? Check out the weapons, okay? Check out the weapons. See which weapons they have. Hold them, feel them, shoot them. And do the research. Look up load charts. Don't look at these statistics that are coming from extremely biased sources. Okay, talk to gun owners civilly. Okay, civilly. Talk to gun owners. Shoot the guns. Learn a little bit more about what you're complaining about, and I guarantee that you're going to change your mind. Okay? So anyway, that's all I got for today. This was just an impromptu video. But anyway, I'm Michael, your host. I want to thank you all for joining me this far and staying to the end of the video. Excuse me. Like I said before, if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you get notified when I do a new video. Also, be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if you learned anything. And down there in the comments below, let me know if you think that owning a gun is a right or a privilege. Also, if you have any questions about guns, please put them down there as well. I'm very knowledgeable and I could probably answer any question you have. If not, I can look it up and I will let you know what the answer is. Okay? So anyway, I want to thank you for joining me. Y'all have a good day and I'll see you in the next video.